Well, hello everyone. You're here to show you that the car's tractor tip, you see coloring 13 is like, for 13 light is that you have right here is that you got right here is that Mater and along with like McQueen along with the car's tractor, and then of course right here is let's say what the say was a light, and then of course you got right here was I went ahead and drew what you call right here is an image right here of the city of as that the details I would have put into it for is like for a night vision type a nighttime look at that like a city, and of course it's like maybe I could have put in a little bit more detail into it, but you have right here you got, let's like you say with speed Brunner it is, and then of course it's let's go ahead and use as the green, and then along with the red is go ahead and color in it's like a speed runner with a little bit with red here, just to kind of make them look like if you were out in the fields. It's like gathering the grass, gathering corn or whatever at night it is. And a lot of people will probably think about is that whenever you are driving at night, that a lot of times that they would suggest that that maybe don't go out unless you have to. It is especially in the bad weather it is. But this right here of course is shown right here, and it could and add a little bit of green right here to the outline. It's like knowing about you got the green right here if they were in the field, and then of course I used quite a big yellow with this too, the scene right here, and then I go ahead and add a little bit of gray coloring right here. It's like with the Tremase blades, and then if their blades are they're just rotators it is. But anyway, but you have right here is I went ahead and it's like I drew right here is an example say of a light bulb, and most of us probably familiar with the light bulb that they use like a special amp with most automobiles. It is that they use a special amp to perform. It's like a good source of light. It is. It looks like if most of us are licensed drivers, is if we're familiar with like what you call it, the type of amp and light bulb that our automobiles usually take, if it's depending on what kind of car it is. But you have the light right here, and with that light, it can give off a source of energy, such as it's like you got the bulb right here, and then of course you got it's like with the glass right here is use the marker on this, and then of course go and switch to the crayon here is with the blue. The blue I guess is like the blue, and I think the light orange or pink it is. But anyway, add a little bit more detail right here for the bulb it is. But you got right here is the bulb, and then of course talking about with the bulb right here, add a little bit of blue right there, and then add the yellow. It is, of course, I'm working with like 48, 49 different colors right here. But go ahead and add the yellow right here. And a lot of times, whenever you're out driving, it is that you could probably think about that if you were to have your lights on, and a lot of times that with most drivers would probably need to take caution about knowing about if you're going to be driving at night, is to know about it's like safety precautions is knowing about that whenever you're driving, that sometimes that there are some few things that are hard to see at night, especially if depending on it's like if there's any city lights that are on, and then of course if there are any railroad crossings or anything like that. But so far as crosswalks, but you see right here is the details that I would add right here for the light. And I was just thinking whenever I drew this that knowing about that yeah, I like to use something that looks a little bit more like nighttime type colors, and so I added in a little bit with McQueen, and then along with the Mater it is a lot of light blend of colors. It is it's like you have the orange, and then of course it's like with the yellow, it's like yellow green it is. But anyway, but you have highlighted that the tractor is like with light colors it is, and then of course is you draw a little bit yellow right up here. It's like for the traffic or towards the traffic light it is. No, it's like between it's like for stay in your lane, and then of course the traffic light knowing about it's like whenever if you were to be driving at night, it is at knowing about it's like that what you say that certain trick is that constantly turn them left to the right, it is, and then knowing about for straightforward for a straightforward view, it is. But other than that, is knowing about with the traffic is that knowing about it's like with your high beams and then your low beams and stuff like that is knowing about is that the type of bulb it takes just to operate the light, it is. And a lot of times with most drivers, it is that the thing about is like that really if you're going to be looking ahead, it is, and knowing about that with during the day that most street lights and stuff like that would probably be say visible, it is, you'd be able to see them. But then on the other hand too, that knowing about depending on the bad weather too, that I've drove a couple times at night, and I would notice that sometimes even in the bad weather that's like things tend to appear foggy, of course, and it's like you have maybe see add some purple right here. It's like knowing about the things that are within about maybe 50 feet or maybe 100 feet or so that may be hard to see. But on the other hand too, that knowing about that type of light bulbs that you would need to keep active, that it's like you may want to have a light bulb that can maybe change color too. It's like you have I guess if they call them strobe lights or anything like that. They have the Minifidi strobe lights. But other than that go ahead and work with the blue. You got the blue, which a lot of times it's like I either use yellow or blue, just to color in that it's like use light. It is the type of light that you would normally see in the dark. It is. I could probably think about it's like that stories from whenever I was a kid, that a lot of times that whenever it would get dark, to know about that we all know what it's time for, huh? Well, I know it ain't time for bed because we usually don't go to bed until this time or something. And I remember some of those stories also, that a lot of times that whenever it would get dark at night, that it's like I would think about it's like, well, it ain't time for bed yet, is it? But on the other hand, to sometimes say that it is time for bed, but on the other hand too, that knowing about is like, especially like on New Year's and maybe the 4th of July, it is a lot of times like staying up late, and then of course go ahead and add a little bit of pink right here. It's like if this was if this part of the light bulb was given any source of light, it is like anything that you would that you think that would give off like a clear view. But anyway, see here, go ahead and maybe add a little bit of gray right here. But anyway, between day and night, it is with nighttime, it's like if it's fireworks or anything like that, knowing about the type of fireworks that you would think that you see, is that would say special on the coloring. But so far with Speedy is like knowing about that, that if you're in an area where that they say talking about, it's like, well, it's with the water right here is like run into say a river or anything like that, but knowing about that, you don't want to do any damage to the plants here. But other than that you have right here is for the 13 lights, and talking about it's like we say with the traffic is knowing about is to drive safe. But other than that, knowing about that, the type of light that we normally use would be is like knowing about is if it's counted by amps. It's like with amps, it's like really what does it mean? I guess really a lot of times it's like the fuses or something like that operate the lights. I guess it's in the number of wattages or something like that certain automobile takes. But other than that is you got right there, it's like for the 13 lights, and then along right there is like with Speed Runner, and no one's like shining a light, right here, like with Speedy, it's like knowing about that. It's like whenever I'm coming around the corner. But other than that, with Mater, it's like, how you doing? And then like McQueen, like ready for the piston cup. Like, ready for the piston cup. And then right there, like But other than that, it's talking about this, like for the 13 lights and the 13 light and your tractor tip, car's tractor tip color.